Here's a super easy way to set up a teacher website. So I'm going to do mine and I will show you from scratch. So the first thing I did is I went to W3 Schools because I'm going to use a template from there. So if you go to W3 Schools, learn w3.css, and you scroll down on the left here, you see that there's different templates. So we're just going to use a template from there. So I scrolled all the way down and I'm going to use this one, so marketing website template, even though it's for teaching. So if you click on it, what I like about this is that I'm going to actually make it my website very simple. So I'm going to remove most of this stuff. But what I do like is that I usually teach 3 classes. So I like that this is already set up into 3 columns. So I'm just going to modify this to have each of my classes there. So per semester, it's 3 classes. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you click on try it yourself, then you have access to the code. You can toggle this way. And so the nice thing is I'm going to actually remove most of the stuff from here. And then I'm going to go and put it into a free hosting platform called Glitch. So I'm going to start by, I want this to say the name of my, I'll just use my name, but you could use whatever you want for your website. So I'm just going to look for where it is here in the code, and I'm going to change it, and I'm going to say the name that I want. So if you run, you'll see that it's changed here. Okay, if I look right now, it's linking to, this is linking to this actual page, so I'm going to figure out the link later. I want the top here to give my 3 course codes, so I'm just going to go and change that and remove what I don't need. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to say my first class. So you see that it changes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for, I'll change work and price to my other classes. I'm not going to show you that part to make the video faster, so I'm just going to hit pause. So you can see now I have my name, my 3 classes that I teach. So I want to remove, or I might keep contact. We'll see. I'll remove this here. So I'm just going to look for it. I like to use the search feature because it quickly can show me where I need to be. So I'm going to remove this search here. I think I'll just leave it for now. So I'm going to remove the drop down, and I will remove, I'll keep the contact for now. So I'll remove all this, run, and there you go. So I have my 3 classes, contact. I will modify it later. So now I've set up my menu. I want to remove this image. I want to remove our team. I want to remove our work. So I'm going to go all the way down, remove everything until pricing. So I can see here in the code that they've actually put a comment here to tell me that that's the image header. So I'm going to, that's nice. So it clearly is just this code that I have to remove. So if I run now, you'll see that the image is gone. Same thing with our team. So I just did a search for our team, and I can see here they've commented that this is the team container. So I'm going to delete until the next comment, which was work row. So I've deleted that. If I execute, that whole thing should be gone. The work row I also don't want, so I'm going to select that all the way to the next comment, which will probably be my pricing row, which is what I want. So let's run and see what happens. Okay, perfect. So this is pricing. So instead of calling it pricing, it's my teaching website. So I'm just going to say classes. My website's in French, actually, so I'm going to write something here. Execute. And there you go. So you can choose to change whatever you want. I'm also going to change this text here so you can see in the code that it's right here. Okay, so I'm going to change that. So I actually changed it to this, and then I'm going to go change these. It's not pricing, but it's my 3 courses that I want, so I'm going to go and change these as well. So where it said basic, I've now put my class code. I'm going to do the same thing for pro. So I'm going to put my other class that I'm teaching this semester and so on. So if I had more than 3 classes, I would just choose a different template, or I would go in W3 Schools, w3.css, and find how to do the 4 columns or whatever. But for now, this is good. And premium. So this is a good free website that I'm going to also show you how to host for free. So we're almost done here. Before this, actually, I was using a WordPress site and I was paying for hosting. So it's a lot. I was actually up to for renewal and it was $400 for my hosting. So I decided to go a free way. Okay, so these containers here that has all this stuff, I want to remove everything, just write maybe a short description of my class, and then instead of sign up, it would be kind of like get info about my class. So most of this I'm gonna delete. So here, this is for my data management class. So I'm gonna remove everything. I want to keep the button. So I'm gonna keep, instead of saying sign up, I will probably say like enter or something like that. And again, the links we'll deal with after. I'm going to delete everything else because I don't want anything else here. And I kept the first one that said 10 gigabyte storage because so I don't want anything in bold. And I'm just going to write my description for my class here. Okay, so you can write whatever you want, but if I run, you'll see what happened here. So I just have my class code. I'm going to write my description, and then it says enter. So I'm going to do that for my 3 classes here. So actually, I undid and I kept where it said per month. I kind of like that was a different opacity here for the course. I'm just going to say what type of course it is. So here's the course title and the grade, and here's the type of course. So again, I'm just going to do that over here. Or what I can do even easier is if I just copy and paste. So I'm just going to copy this whole thing here and paste it over the other ones, and that way it'll be a bit easier. So I have to be careful not to remove the wrong tags. So hopefully my favorite button is undo. I'm going to just run and see. All right, there you go. I did it properly. So yeah, so I'm just going to change the text here. So here are my 3, and then I will remove all the rest of this stuff here that I don't want. I'm going to keep the contact container. I'm just going to modify it. I don't like to have a built-in form. There's always problems with that, so I'm going to remove it. So you can see here, I like this email thing, but I don't like the form. So I can see in the code here that you can start at where it says div. So that's the division where the form starts. So I'm just going to go until that. So opening div tag, closing div tag. I'm just going to delete that and see what it looks like. So now it looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to just modify a little bit the text here. And I realize I should have removed all the way to the send button. So it's actually, I can see in the code here, I forgot to delete. So I'm going to delete all of this. Okay, so basically after the email, until the first, the location map, which I'm going to actually erase. And I'm going to see what it looks like and scroll down. And it does not look good, so I messed up. So that's fine. Control Z is my favorite button. So undo, 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 and I'll take a closer look at what I did here. So let's run, and it should be back to its original. Yes. Okay, so let's see now. So the mistake I did here was actually I deleted too much. So after the email, close div tag. See, I should delete from here all the way down to this one. I have to keep this closing div tag here. So that was my mistake. So I'm going to delete now. And there you have it. So here's my contact. So I'm just going to change this. All right, so I changed it to what I wanted, and I'm going to actually keep the footer because I like what it looks like, even though I probably don't need one. I don't have any social media things. So I'm going to go remove all of that. So I'm going to keep maybe this little thing here, and I'm going to remove, I'll keep powered by CSS. Why not? And I shall remove the follow us and all the social media. So from here until follow us, I'm going to delete that, and that's it. So I have my original setup all done. And that's my teacher website. So I will now move on to creating quickly the other 2 pages, or 3 pages. So you'll see how that gets done. So because this is a very simple website, I can host it for free on Glitch. So I'm just going to go to Glitch. You can sign in with your Google account. So create a new project, and I want a website. So I'm going to go here. There might be an easier way to do this, but this is how I know how to do it. So sometimes it takes a little while to load. So you just wait for a while, and there you have it. It gives you kind of like a template of a site that's already built. But I mean, I'll keep these even though I won't use them. What I want to do is replace this index.html. So I'm going to remove what's there, and I'm going to put in what I just created on W3 School. So I come and get the code here, paste it there, and there you have it. So I can actually click on preview, preview in a new window, and then it will open up in a new window. So here's the website for now. And I have the URL, which is here, that I could share with my students. I'm actually going to change. I pay for a domain name, so you can actually buy a domain name with a different service. So I have mine. I'm going to link it, so I'll show that in another video maybe. But for now, I mean, you could just use this URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a page for each of these. So right now I only have 1 page. So I'm going to duplicate this page and modify a little bit. So I want 3 pages. So I'm going to go and create the links now to make sure I have the links to the appropriate file names. If I go on index, here now I can see the code. And I can just actually, now I'm not going to go back to the W3 schools. I'm just going to use this here. So what I want to do is I want to set up my links. So I know that the if I look in the nav bar, I know here I have multiple links. So the first one was, if I look to the left here just to make sure, yeah, that was like Madame Bernacchi. So that's my home page. So I want, when someone clicks on here, I want them to return to index. So I'm going to just say index.html. The next one was for my data management class. So when I create my page, I'm going to create my page after. So right now it doesn't exist, but I'm going to call it whatever I want to call it, but I have to remember. So I'm just going to call it the course code.html. And I'm going to save everything in the same folder so I don't have to worry about anything else. So I'm just writing the names of the files that I'm going to use. And kind of thinking I should have asked ChatGPT to do this for me. But anyway, so here I have this one. So I'm going to say, and you do the same thing. And then for the contact, it's not its own page. So this is just telling me to anchor it. So it's just saying go to the bottom of the page where there's contact. So I'm just going to leave it on every page like that. And then I have to remember that I also had I have to do this here as well. So navbar on small screens, because W3 Schools will give us the code for a responsive website. So that's a website that'll change depending on if I'm looking on a phone or a website. So I have to change it everywhere. Which actually I'm realizing that I had not changed the actual names here. So I will change those as well. Otherwise it's going to show the wrong thing, which was what was in the default here. So I'm just going to actually, here I can see modal. I don't actually even know what that is. If I wanted to learn about it, I would go, but I'm just going to remove it because I don't think it's necessary for our teacher website. I'm going to refresh. Okay, so it looks the same here. The only thing that would have changed is that now when I click on this, it's taking me to this web page. Okay, so this web page doesn't exist. I have to go and create it. Before I do that, I remember also that I have these 3 buttons. So I actually would want, when I click here, I would want it to, right now it's coming back to this page. I would actually want it to go to the MDM4U page. So I'm going to go change that link now. And this is over here. I'm working in Glitch. So I'm going to just do, so that was the button that was called enter like that. So I'm going to do a search and there it is. So now it's giving me the link currently. Where's the link? So the button let's figure that out. I actually don't know how to make that button a link right now. I could go research on W3 Schools to figure it out, or I'm just going to try for fun to do it with ChatGPT. So I'll show you if it works. If not, we'll figure out on W3 Schools quickly. Okay, so using ChatGPT, it worked. So I asked it, can you tweak this code to make the button link? And it gave me this code here. So I'm just gonna copy the code and put it in here. So instead of having a button leading to nowhere, I still have a button leading to nowhere, but then I'm gonna change its code here. So this is for I called it mdm4u.html. So instead of the hashtag there, I'll just write the file name, and I'm gonna do the same. So I'm actually gonna just copy this, and I'm gonna go replace the button here with that and change for each course. So this one was, and then lastly would have been this one. I'm going to go and change the button as well. So I'm pasting. Essentially, if you look into detail how the code was changed, it was really just to put a link here and change the way that we call the button. So it's kind of nice that ChatGPT worked. Okay, so I'm going to put in here my last MCR3U. It's the first time that ChatGPT works quickly for me. Okay, 16 minutes into our video, we're almost done. So how to create a website, I guess, in 20 minutes. So we're going to go, I'm just going to preview again here. This is what we have, my courses. And when I click here, it should take me to a page that doesn't exist. So all that's left to do is to create these 3 pages that don't exist. Let's try to do that in 4 minutes. So I'm just going to take my index page here, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to call it one of the classes that I wanted. So let's say mdm4u.html, and I'm going to have, now it's a complete duplicate of the original one. So now if I go to my, where is it, this one, if I click on here, it does, let's just refresh here. It does take me to this page, but because I duplicated it, it looks exactly the same. So I'm just going to go and change what it looks like. I should actually change the comments, because now it says pricing row and it doesn't make sense. But anyway, the comments don't really matter in the code, so I could do that if I wanted to later. So now I'm doing my MDM4U page. So I'm just going to create my title, okay, because that I want to keep. And I'm going to remove the 3 columns. And I want to replace it with only 1 column. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove 2 columns. And I'm going to keep this, and I don't want it to be a third. I want it to be the entire screen. So I'm going to remove that class, and again, I can see if I refresh my page and I go to this one, this is the one I'm trying to modify. I can say I made a mistake here, so I'm going to just go back and do my Control-Z undo, figure it out. I know I deleted too much stuff here is what happened. So I had deleted this, so I just did undo, because I did not want to delete that, and I want to delete from here. Okay, so the first div I didn't want to delete, so I'm going to delete 2. I'll do them one at a time to make sure I don't mess up. So I'm going to delete 2. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete this as well. Okay, so now it looks like this. I want this to be mostly removed. I want it also to be full screen. So I'll just remove the W3 third here, and now if we look, we can see that it's full screen. So what I will want is actually to put in an iframe for a Google Calendar. So I'm just going to maybe write like our calendar here, and I'm going to remove, and the nice thing here, it highlights my div tag, and you can see it highlighted the closing tag. So I make sure I don't delete the wrong div tag. And I'm going to remove, I'm going to remove everything here, and let's go see what it looks like here. It should be, there you go. So I'm going to put in a Google Calendar for my class here. That's the last thing that I need to do. So I have a Google Calendar for my class where I put in like different information, links to Google Docs, Google Slides, or whatever. So this calendar already exists. So if you wanted to use a Google Calendar, that's a good idea. So I'm going to come here, go to settings and sharing, and I'm going to go and get my calendar. So I'm going to scroll down to customize, and I'm going to choose, I want more than one calendar actually for this class. I want this one, and I would like a couple of other ones. Okay, so we can see here I have the different calendars. And so what I want to do is just copy this code here. It gives me the iframe, so I'm going to come and copy this iframe, and I'm going to paste here. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to copy this list item, and I'm going to paste it. I'm just going to fix the alignment here, and instead of having a paragraph that says our calendar, I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to put in the iframe code that I get from Google. So copy, whoops, copy and paste, and then I should be able to, let's go and see what happened. And there is our calendar. One thing I should mention is that in your calendar settings, you have to make sure that this is clicked, make available to public, otherwise it won't work. And that's it. So here's my website. So I can go back to the home page, which is here. I can go either from here or from here, and I will get the class calendar. At the bottom of every page, you have the contact. And so I just have to go and duplicate this page, these two pages for this, and we're done. So I'm going to duplicate, call it my other course code.html. And I'm going to do it a second time. And I'm going to call it what I had here. So now all I need to do is go change the text and the iframe. So I'm going to do that, and you'll see the final product. So I'm changing the title here to correspond with what page I'm on, and I'm going to go and get my Google Calendar for that class, which is this one. I'm going to go to settings and sharing, scroll down, make sure that this is checked. By default, it's unchecked, so you have to check it. And I'm going to go to, where is it? Here it is, customize, and then, I mean, you can choose whatever you want here. I'm just going with the default. So I just want to make sure that I have selected what I want to share, and then I will copy the iframe, go back here, and paste it over what I have. And there you have it. So now I have my second page that I've created, which was this one. So the title is different, the calendar is different. I can go to my data management class. I can go to my IB class. So now my last one would be this one. I have to change. All right, the last thing I forgot to mention, which I'm going to have to go do in the 3 pages. I should have done it at the beginning before I duplicated, but that's fine. So here I have now all my 3 classes. Okay, so we're good to go. 1, 2, 3. The one thing I don't like here is at the top here, it says w3.css template. So I want to change this. So in the code, where is that? That is in the title usually. So I'm just going to go, I have to go in each of the pages to do it. So you can see it here. So I'm just going to change that to whatever I want my my title to be. And actually it can be different for each page. So I'm going to make it different for each page. And there you have it. So that's a website you can share with your students. What I recommend too is to have a backup, so you can go export and click on download, and then you'll have it in a TGZ file. It's kind of like a zip file, so it's a compressed file in which you'll have all these files. So if you wanted to, of course, Glitch will keep it for you, but it's nice to have a hard copy of your website. And there you have it, how to make a teacher website in 25 minutes, hosted for free. All you do is share the URL. So in a second video, I'm going to actually use my own domain name, so I'll show that in another video if you wanted to have your own domain name here.